Hello, everyone. Today, we're exploring Genesis 45, a chapter that shows the power of forgiveness and God's perfect timing. It's the story of Joseph revealing his identity to his brothers and the emotional reunion that follows. Let's dive in. After Judah's heartfelt plea to take Benjamin's place as a slave, Joseph can no longer control his emotions. He sends all his attendants out of the room and, weeping loudly, reveals his identity to his brothers. He says, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" The brothers are stunned and terrified, unable to respond. Joseph reassures them, saying, "Come close to me." When they do, he continues, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now, do not be distressed, and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Joseph explains that God used their actions to fulfill a greater purpose. He says, "God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God." Joseph urges his brothers to return to Canaan and bring their father, Jacob, to Egypt, where they will be provided for during the remaining 5 years of famine. He embraces Benjamin and weeps, and then he kisses all his brothers, showing his complete forgiveness and love. When Pharaoh hears that Joseph's brothers have come, he is pleased and invites them to bring their entire family to Egypt. He promises to give them the best of the land and provides wagons for the journey. Joseph gives his brothers new clothes and additional gifts, including 5 sets of garments for Benjamin and 300 shekels of silver. He also sends them off with a warning: "Don't quarrel on the way." This moment shows Joseph's wisdom and care for his family, as well as his desire for unity among his brothers. When the brothers return to Canaan and tell Jacob that Joseph is alive, he is initially stunned and refuses to believe them. But when he sees the wagons and gifts Joseph has sent, his spirit is revived. He says, "I'm convinced. My son Joseph is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." This moment marks the beginning of a new chapter for Jacob's family as they prepare to reunite with Joseph in Egypt. So, what can we learn from Genesis 45? First, forgiveness is powerful and can heal even the deepest wounds. Second, God's plans are greater than our mistakes, and He can use them for good. Finally, this chapter reminds us that reconciliation is possible when we trust God's timing and purpose. Let's embrace forgiveness and trust Him to work all things together for good. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next story.